All right. Well, it's a good win for the Buffs. Sure is nice when you can make some shots and get your offense rolling like we did in the second half. It makes everything else look pretty good and pretty easy. So, I told our team after the game, though, this is a time of the year, whether you win or whether you lose, we have to learn and we have to grow. We have to get better from every experience we had. And tonight I think we can learn from the positive things offensively when we share the ball and move the ball and it doesn't stick. And you got, I think, 6 or 7 guys with 2 assists or more. We got 21 as a team and 11 turnovers. It's the way the game should be played. And but defensively in the first half, wasn't very happy. They were 8 for 10 from 3. We got to do a better job of guarding the three-point line, and we talked about that at halftime and did a better job in the second half. So overall, I was pleased.
Josh, obviously, what happened the other night with him. How good was it for him to get rolling and have a game like this going into a long break?
It's nice. Yeah, Josh, Josh is a good player. We all know that. His team knows that. It's funny. He was 6 for 10 from the field, and I thought he missed some really easy shots that he normally makes. I mean, I think easily could have been 8 or 9 for 10 from the field tonight. But Josh battles, and he rebounds, he defends. I thought he did a great job defensively tonight. Had 4 blocks and really clogged the middle defensively. And, again, we had an advantage on Northern Colorado inside, and we knew that. We wanted to take advantage of that as best we could, both offensively and defensively. And that's why I was so disappointed in how we guarded the three-point line in the first half. It's one thing if they got a couple 7-footers that we're paying attention to inside, but when they're just whapping threes and penetrating pitching and offensive rebounds and ball screens, there's no excuse for it. So, but I thought Josh was terrific. I thought Askia Booker had a great floor game, 5 assists and 1 turnover and 50% from the field. We'll take that every day out of Ski. He was really looking to get Wesley involved early, which I thought was a very mature thing to do, something that we talked about. And so I saw some growth with our team this year. Jerron Hopkins played, I thought, great minutes off the bench and with good energy. And I just mentioned it on the radio with Mark Johnson. I mentioned it to our team as well. If we have to coach effort as coaches, it's going to be a long year. You should not have to coach effort. That should just be the price of admission, coming to practice and hooking it up in the games. And if we play hard and we play smart and we play together, this team, again, has a very high ceiling, and I think you saw that today with the way we really moved the ball offensively and in the second half guarded a little bit better.
You talked a little bit about Jerron. Was that his best game as Buff, do you think?
I don't know. It's hard for me to, off the top of my head, remember best games. I can't remember what I had for breakfast. So, but he played well. He played with energy, and he was aggressive. One of the things I talked to both he and Dustin about, and even Fletch. Fletch ended up starting tonight because Xavier Johnson was late to shoot around. But those guys coming off the bench, they need to play with energy. Don't be afraid to make mistakes. Basketball's not a perfect game, and so don't try to be perfect. Don't play afraid to make a mistake. Play, and the worst thing is I take you out of the game. So what? When you come back in, play your tail off, and just have that mental mindset. And I don't know if that helped or not, but he sure seemed to play more freely tonight, and with more energy. And if he does that, he's a good player.
He gets going and kind of plays with a swagger, I guess you would say that. Isn't maybe Xavier Johnson is the only other guy who plays like that?
A little bit, yeah. I think again, when our guys play good, they play with a swagger. The thing that is challenging for a Division I basketball player at this level is how do you play when things aren't going well for you? And that's where mental toughness comes in. When the shots aren't falling, what kind of energy do you have? When you can't get a call, what kind of energy do you have? What kind of mental mindset can you overcome adversity? That's the only way you learn how tough you are. What's the old saying? Adversity doesn't build character, it reveals it. And you got to have that toughness, that character that when adversity hits, you can fight through it. I don't know if our team's there yet. We'll find out the next time we face adversity, whether it's in a game, whether it's in a stretch of games, whatever. But I thought our guys, responded, again, after the last 2 losses with pretty good focus, pretty good energy, and pretty good concentration. It can always get better. But
taking off that, a little bit of adversity going into halftime. UNC obviously closed it into a 2-point game. Was that a little bit of the mental toughness, the way your team came out in the
Yeah,
second half?
yeah, and we challenged them. You know, our assistant coaches were, you know, yelling at our guys and on our guys to get a good warm-up before the second half. You know, our guys have a tendency to come out after halftime and think it's a beauty contest and, you know, act like they're cool and everybody look at me. Hey, you come out that tunnel, you go through layup lines, get yourself loose, get your mind right. And, you know, again, if we have to coach that, we got to coach it. I mean, if I have to coach effort, I'm going to coach effort. If I got to coach concentration, I'm going to coach whatever I got to coach. But what I'd like to do is have a team that's mature enough and that understands that, guess what, that's okay. We should be able to try to make adjustments to what they're doing defensively and offensively and be able to do it on the fly on the floor.
Was there more of an emphasis on getting Josh involved in the second half, or did things just come to him?
You know, we always want to get Josh involved. Josh is a big weapon for us, and so is Wesley Gordon. So it's not just Josh. We want to play inside out. We want to attack the basket. Now, for our team, they understand that throwing the ball to Josh on the block, even though he might not be in the lane, that is an attack. That puts pressure on the defense because he's such a good low-post scorer. The other team has to, you know, react to that. If they don't react to it, he's going to usually score or get fouled, usually. And the same thing with Wesley. When we get the ball inside, that's always a good thing. So there wasn't any more of an emphasis on it offensively in the second half than there was in the first half. Now, we got it in there more in the second half. And, again, that's as a result of our players making the plays and getting it in there. And you know, sometimes you got to take what the defense gives you.
You only had 2 shots in the first half.
Right. Yeah. We didn't talk about that. We really didn't. We didn't talk about, you know, it's not about who's getting the shots. Is the ball moving, and are we attacking the basket? That's what I'm concerned with. I'm not concerned with Josh having 2 shots or, you know, Wes having 0 shots or, you know, somebody else. If the shots are good shots, and I think, and I'll you know when I watch the film, but my guess is tonight, you know, you could count our bad shots on one hand and probably still have some fingers left. Because I don't think we took a lot of bad shots. And that's why, you know, we shot the percentage that we did. And so it's about getting good shots for the team, not who's getting them. And I think because on different nights it might be, because again, you know, you play against CSU, who fronts him and has help side. It's going to be tougher for Josh to get as many. He's still got 7 against CSU, which is, you know. But Wesley and Josh are our most efficient scorers. If you look at our stats and look at our numbers, you know, Wesley shooting over 61%, Josh shooting mid-50s. Those are the guys we want to get shots to, no doubt. But sometimes it happens, sometimes it doesn't, and that's that.
It's over. You never liked going against your friends. What was it like going against BJ?
Yeah, I mean, number one, I got a lot of respect for BJ and his staff and that university and those young men. And again, UNC is always will be and always has been a special place for me. Again, my dad taught there. He was an English professor. I coached there. That was my first head coaching opportunity. I'll be forever grateful, you know. So there were some former players there tonight, and it's great to see them. And it just, but playing against a friend is never fun. But you know, I've got great respect for them. I think it's a good game for them. It's a good game for us, and I'm cheering it. I hope they win every game from here on out. And you know, it'll be interesting. I follow UNC, but I don't follow the Big Sky as much in terms of who's good and who's not. But I'm hoping that team can finish in the upper half, if not compete for a championship. And offensively, they're terrific. They can shoot it. They got a lot of different weapons. Their defense has to get better. BJ knows that. We talked about it before the game, and I'm sure with him on the sidelines it will.
Does a big win like this and an offensive performance like tonight give the guys a good amount of confidence?
I hope so. Yeah, I hope so, because we're gonna need it playing against DePaul. It's going to be a heck of a game. And right now, you know, their mind is on finals. We got finals starting tomorrow. We're going to practice 3 out of the next 5 days, take 2 days off. But yeah, I think this is a nice performance, especially on the offensive end, to gain some confidence and understand. Again, we can learn from the good just like we can learn from the bad. And when we get the ball moved and it doesn't stick and we share it, we take good shots. This team's got a high ceiling. We've said it from the beginning, and you guys know it. But our margin for error is very small. And I think that's what we've learned as well, is that if we don't play together, if we don't play smart, if we don't take care of the ball, if we don't take good shots, if we don't guard, we don't rebound, we got no shot. It doesn't matter who we're playing, especially from here on out. Because there are no patsies, you know, DePaul, George Washington, Wichita State, Nebraska, even Ohio, whoever we end up playing. I don't know who it'll be. We better be ready to rock and roll.
You know how long, at this point, Torrey and Don are going to be
Yeah,
out?
Torrey's, you know, got dinged up with a concussion, and, you know, we'll see. Concussion protocol is in effect. And then Dom, hopefully he's back for DePaul, and he can help us. You know, we'll see how the wrist still's got some pain in it, but the swelling's going down, and so we'll see. Hopefully we'll have those guys back because, again, it's critical for our team. I think, you know, to get those guys back and healthy, it helps our depth.
You talk about adversity from the outside looking in. That's been the thing this team has not been able to handle so far.
Yeah.
From watching you guys play. How do you coach that? How do you?
Well, I
convince
think,
them?
Neil, I think you talk to your players about how that life isn't easy and life isn't fair, and sometimes you're going to come up on the short end of the stick. Again, I look at the CSU game, and we had an opportunity to win that game, multiple opportunities to win that game, but we didn't make the plays to do it. And so, you just have to learn that mental toughness comes only when you face adversity. And for us to be good, every team's going to face adversity this year, every single one. Doesn't matter who you are. Okay, even Kentucky, you know, they just lost a kid to an ACL. You know, we've got other couple kids out. You know, that platoon system that Coach Calipari put in is, guess what, got to change. They've got some adversity. We all have adversity with our teams and individually. How you react to that, how you handle that, tells a lot about you as a person and how tough you are. And you know, our thought for the day after the Colorado State game was, you know, one of the greatest challenges in life is to bear, to bear defeat without losing heart. And you know, sometimes you got to bear defeat. You can't lose your heart. You can't lose your belief in yourself and your confidence. And it's easier said than done. And that's what makes college athletics so fun and so nerve-wracking at the same time.
Do you have the leaders or the strength on your team to pull some of those guys through that? Usually it takes one or two guys.
Only time will tell. Only time will tell. I can't answer that right now because, again, we're going to face it as we go. And I think we do. I do. I believe in our guys. I believe in them. And but life isn't always easy, and dealing with it when things are tough. That's when your feet are held to the fire, and you figure out who you are and what you're made of. And you know, close games reveal that a lot. Since we've been here, if you look at our record in close games, it's pretty good. Wasn't good Wednesday night against CSU, but overall it's been pretty good, and that's a testament to the leadership on the floor that you're talking about. And do I think we have it? Yeah, I think we do. Have we shown it up to this point? We haven't shown it up to this point. Facts are facts. So, but that's why you continue to grow and improve and keep trying to get better and talking about it and using examples. I think real life examples are the best way to teach. And we use film a lot because film teaches you a lot. And there's usually not a lot of room for negotiation or debate and excuse making. I mean, the film doesn't lie. The eye in the sky don't lie. So that's why we use it a lot in teaching. Great. Thanks, guys.